we're gonna get started. This has been a challenging time for the 12th Judicial District. Having a strong prosecutor team in place is absolutely essential to making our communities safe. And I know it's been challenging here in Alamosa and Conejos and Costilla and Mineral, Rio Grande and Saguache. And I first want to start by thanking the folks who've helped hold this together, because when the last DA resigned, others across the state really stepped in. And there were 5 DAs from other districts that sent people to the 12th to continue the prosecution of crime. And I want to thank Alexis King from the 1st, Beth McCann from the 2nd, Gordon McLaughlin from the 8th, John Kellner from the 18th, and Michael Doherty from the 20th. Are any of the folks that they sent here, raise your hand, are any of the folks from any of those districts that came down here today? Well, we thank them for their work, and we thank their DAs for sending them. We also want to thank Tom Raines, Colorado District Attorney's Counsel, and of course Phil Weiser as well for helping to coordinate the effort, because a district attorney's office is an essential function of government. And without it, there's no justice and there's no safety. And so this has been a challenging few months, but at least there's been some effort to move forward. And that will get better starting today. I also want to thank the panel. There is, unlike in law for judicial appointments, there's a formal process around judicial panels that the governor appoints. What we did for this vacancy is we created a ad hoc panel. So we had, and I want to thank Governor Bill Ritter, former district attorney from the 2nd Judicial District, Eugene Farish, former district attorney from the 12th here, Stan Garnett, former district attorney from the 20th, Cliff Rydell, former district attorney from the 8th, and Cara Veach, our own chief legal counsel. They formed the panel that advanced candidates to me for the final interview. And throughout this process, the staff at the 12th JD DA's office continued to serve the people of the district. Who's here from the 12th JD office? Let's give them a round of applause. What you've been through is hard, and I want to thank you on behalf of the state of Colorado for doing the best you could under the circumstances. I also want to thank our local leaders. I think we have some commissioners with us from Alamosa County, Lori Lasky, Michael Yohn, Vern Heersink. We have Senator Simpson and Representative Valdez here with us as well. We appreciate that. Really, Colorado is all about making sure people have the opportunity to have their voices heard. And that's exactly what the people of San Luis Valley did when they felt their concerns were not being treated with respect. And a responsible government takes the concerns of its people and works to address them through problem solving. And that's what we've set about to do through this thoughtful, thorough process. And today, I'm honored to announce the appointment of Ann Kelly as the 12th Judicial District's next district attorney. So, Ann has extensive experience. She began her career in law 20 years ago. She's worked in the private sector before answering the call of public service. She's served under both Republican and Democratic district attorneys in the 18th, the 19th, and the 20th Judicial District Attorney's Office. So she's got to see different aspects in different parts, working with different teams, and brings an experience as a prosecutor focused on serious cases, homicide, sexual assault, fraud, domestic violence. She's done those. Most importantly, she's willing to roll up her sleeves and build the team here in the 12th JD that our law enforcement, our victims, and our communities deserve to have in place. The people of the San Luis Valley deserve someone who will hear their needs and stand up for them. And Ann Kelly has my confidence that she will get that done. She's already got to see firsthand the passion of this community. She's been on loan from the 20th for several weeks. And she's committed to starting fresh and repairing relationships and building trust with law enforcement, with victims, with the community. Anne is ready to bring everything she has to deliver justice and restore trust and improve public safety in the San Luis Valley. With that, it's my honor to turn it over to your new district attorney, Ann Keller.
Thank you so much to Governor Polis for the trust and the confidence that he has in me. I am committed to the hard work necessary to earn this valley's trust and confidence. I first want to acknowledge my colleagues from across the state, prosecutors from across the state that have come down to this valley and dedicated their time for weeks at a time to make sure that victims were heard, to make sure that cases were filed and justice has been done. The Colorado District Attorney's Council assembled an army of state prosecutors from across the state. They came down here and tried cases. They came down here and handled difficult investigations. They came down here and made sure that the victims of this valley were heard. It is a true testament, and I am honored to be considered one of their colleagues. It is a true testament to the passion and the dedication of our state's prosecutors. And I would ask everybody to give them a round of applause. They're just extraordinary prosecutors. Thank you to the Attorney General's office for also being willing to step in and lead in the office during this transition, this hard transition. So this valley has been in a crisis of trust. This valley has endured a crisis of trust. But what's most extraordinary to me is what this valley did about it. You didn't just sit back and say, well, that's the way things go. You came together and your voices were loud and they were clear that you wanted change. They were loud and they were clear that you weren't going to put up with what was going on. And I can tell you that your resilience and your courage to change what was going on is what really inspired me to come and work with you, to make that change and to be a leader in that change. This valley is a really special place, and it deserves a prosecutor that cares deeply about the community, that cares about justice, that cares about victims. You deserve a professional prosecutor that will fill the office with professional attorneys that know what they're doing. It's going to take time, but I'm committed to that effort, and I need your help. And so I would ask all of you to provide me with that support and that encouragement so that we can right the ship. Victims of crime deserve dignity and respect. They deserve to be heard. They deserve to have a compassionate and understanding response to the trauma that they've been through. They deserve to be an active part of the criminal justice process. Dignity and respect for victims is a personally and deeply held belief of mine, and I am committed to our office. Our office is committed to bringing that to the Valley. You deserve a leader that prioritizes public safety, that prioritizes the prosecution of violent offenders, that has the wisdom and the skill and the experience to differentiate those individuals that may need help and those individuals that need to be held accountable to keep the community safe. I have that experience. And our office is dedicated to fighting for the victims of violent crime. The help of our law enforcement agencies and the community, I want to make sure that you're telling me what you want me to prioritize in that way. This valley has been devastated by the effects of addiction and the prevalence and the availability of dangerous narcotics. I am committed to using the resources that we have and to working to creatively find new resources to make sure that we are addressing the needs of addiction, to make sure that we aren't criminalizing addiction. At the same time, I am equally dedicated to making sure that we seek out and that we aggressively prosecute the individuals in this community that are providing poison to our most vulnerable citizens. I intend to work very closely with law enforcement to collaborate on this effort. If you are someone who is profiting from providing poison to our citizens, we are coming after you. I prioritize community safety and I prioritize the health of our citizens. I am a strong supporter of our brave men and women in blue. I look forward to collaborating with law enforcement to make sure that this valley is doing everything we can to keep the community safe. And so I intend to have an open door policy with all law enforcement. I want to make sure that all of their needs are addressed and that we have a relationship of collaboration that lasts and that's enduring and that's trusting. And I look forward to developing that partnership. I have no illusions that this is going to be an easy job. This is going to be hard, but I am committed to the Valley and I'm committed to dedicating my time and my effort to making sure that you feel heard, that your efforts in righting the ship are respected and recognized. I am here to work for you, to work with you, to work beside you. And I'm hopeful and I'm really looking forward to meeting all of you and to being welcome in the community because you have welcomed me thus far. I understand that I can't do this alone, and I look forward to working with our dedicated county commissioners to make sure that we collaborate on being able to provide the resources to deliver community safety and to deliver victim responsiveness. There's a lot of work ahead, but I can tell you that it's a new day in the Valley, and I cannot wait to get started. Thank you.
Any questions? Yeah.
What kind of ongoing support will the DA's office have?
So look, I will continue conversations with Phil Weiser, with the other districts, to really encourage them to provide Ann the support that she needs to succeed here in the 12th. Ultimately, she'll have to recruit a team of prosecutors that can successfully allow the 12th Judicial District to stand on their own. But I'm committed to doing everything I can to supporting her during this time frame as she recruits that team.
One of the biggest problems has been funding the DAs. What support are we going to get for helping out the DA as far as?
Yeah, so I mean, there are many sort of tragedies that have occurred with the broken relationships, right, between victims and the prosecutor, but in this case, between commissioners and the prosecutor. Ann knows that one of her first tasks will be to gain the confidence of the counties and the commissioners that fund the DA's office. Thank you all for joining us.